Shout out to all the returning subscribers. Shout out to the new subscribers. Let me know what you want me to react to. If I can react to it, I will. I will even do polls, so make sure you look out for the community tab and interact with that. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. You see the title of this live stream. If you're not watching this on a live stream, I don't know for you still, but it is what it is. Excuse me. But see, when I try to laugh, you know what I mean? I've got to be careful when I try to laugh. You know what I mean? I'm getting PTSD from that now. Anyway, let's get straight into it. You know the deal, you know the drill. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka Activism, trusted name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. Right now, we're going to react to this whole situation. What's the latest in regards to, you know, Nigeria? What's really going on? You know what I mean? What's really going on? All right. So boom, let's get into the first one. Get me? We're going to react to a few videos or more than a few, but I'm going to start with Aisha. Is it Aisha? Aisha Yesufu. If I butchered the name, I apologize. So the first one we're going to react to is this one. Breaking news. Hold on. Why is it on mute?
Amazing performance, durable design. With O2 this Black Friday, save up to £432.
Anyway, let's go. I didn't even see the title of the video still. All right. That's what we need to look at the video for, the title. All right, so.
Hello, everyone. So there's a break.
So look, breaking news, Donald Trump, I'm not going to say his name. I'll just say Donald has declared Nigeria a country of particular concern. I mean, let's be real. It really is a country of particular concern, and so is many other African and Caribbean countries. Yeah, like even like post, like during the independence. You know what I mean? Because got to remember, why did we fight for independence? How did we fight for independence? And how did we end up here? This is what we got to learn. Yeah, but anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's go.
In news, finally, the United States of America has declared Nigeria as a country of concern. Yeah.
She said finally. Wait. Did she really say finally?
Finally, the United States of America has declared Nigeria as a country of concern. Yeah, has designated Nigeria as a country. How do they put it? There's a way that they put it, but let me just go on. It says, you know country
I mean? This is important. It's the words that are said and how they are said. Like once you understand the power of language, and look, the English language, there's, in fact, in any other language, yeah, but most particularly, I'm going to say most particularly English language, because for me, that's the language I grew up on, and this, that, and the third is what it is, right? But basically, I understand there's a way for you to say some things, and it can come across a certain way. If, do you know what I mean? Like one word, even there's one word, yeah, a four-letter word. A four-letter word. I'm not going to say it on here because YouTube and community guidelines and that. But you can say that word in so many different variety of tones, and it can mean different things. So that's the point I'm trying to make. But let's go.
Particular, yes, I know it's CPC. So I was wondering what that P as country of particular concern. They just did that some moments ago. Let me just read. And you know, Donald Trump put out a tweet.
By the way, just to let you know, obviously the day I'm reacting and the day you're probably watching this is days or weeks after. Obviously, this was done on what, the 1st of November, I believe it was. But we'll look at the day after this. Let's go.
That he made. And this is what the tweet says. Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass murder. I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern, and they put it in capital letters. But that is the least of it. When Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like it's happening in Nigeria, and this is said 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into.
Before she continues, when I first heard this news, I was like, why am I not surprised? Do you know what I mean? Why am I not surprised? I'm like, isn't he not busy? Shouldn't he not be busy? Like, if I was American, yeah. Look, if you're American and you're watching this, you should hold your president accountable for his what do you call it? I forgot what they call it. His manifesto. You know what I mean? You know that term he uses, MAGA. Do you know what I mean? What happened to that? Like, what happened? That should be putting Americans first. What happened to that? I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying no one shouldn't take concern of the lives of other people outside of their country. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, knowing how Donald is, you know what I mean? You would think, get me? But maybe he's trying to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Fair enough, is what it is. But the reality, you need to do this with pure good intentions. Yeah, I always look at it from a point of view of, what does he really want? Because he's a businessman. Where he can find a way to exploit, he will exploit and make money. Just letting you know that from now. But anyway, that's just my fault, and I could be completely wrong. But because at the end of the day, it's not. First of all, you don't diagnose a problem unless you really have found that that's the root cause, that's the problem. You know what I mean? And even if you have diagnosed that, you find a way to get a resolution behind closed doors before anything. You know what I mean? You don't make it a public display. Do you know what I mean? Like it's entertainment. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. As much as this video is, or the video, my live stream or the playback value of it is categorized as entertainment, this isn't necessarily entertainment. You know what I mean? This is real life. Like real life. But let's go
to this matter and report back to me. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world.
So what happened to, hold on. I need to see something real quick, yeah. Let me see something. I want to see something. I want to do on here. What I want to see something. I want to see something. Okay, but either way. Okay, so I was trying to figure out something, but it's still a situation where that happened. But let me find out something else as well. Oh wow, that did happen in 2025, 27th of August 2025 in Minneapolis. No, wait, that was in Minneapolis. That's one thing. Michigan and we gonna get into this. We got like there's a lot of things I wanna let me see. Because I know there was something that happened in 2025, yeah, in a church in America. Like I actually remember it. I think it was in Michigan. But anyway, listen, we move, yeah? We move. Like I just wanted to make a point. Like that's happening in Trump's in Donald's country, yeah, while he is president. By the way,
Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So this is what Donald Trump has just put out. And the first thing that I tried to do was to read up. I've heard of country of concern, few times, but I've never really read up to see, okay, what does it entail? So I went to read, and part of the things, and also check other countries that have been there, the Saudi Arabia, India, and all of that. Nigeria was there before. It was removed. I honestly, I didn't even know that Nigeria was there before, but just reading up.
Hey, listen, neither did I. Neither did I. Hey, listen, they can put us in whatever list. We are where we are. We do what we do. But the reality is, our country does need to be fixed up. Plain and simple. That's just a pure fact. Yeah. Irrespective of who's at fault for whatever, it needs to be fixed up properly, regardless, and it will be. Yeah, same thing with other African and Caribbean countries as well. Like we can always pinpoint and be like, oh, this person is that. No, what are we doing to fix and resolve the problem? You know what I mean?
It showed
Let's
that
go.
Nigeria was there before it was removed by Biden, and then now it's back there because the way it was made to look as if this was the first. That's what for me it's all about. Are Nigerians being killed? Yes, Nigerians are being killed. If putting it as a country of concern is going to help Nigeria, please do it. And then when I heard they've had it, so if they had it before, it didn't have that effect. If there is a way that the Nigerian government will be shamed for them to have the political will to actually begin to act so that citizens will stop being killed, it helps every one of us. Where instead of the
That part.
competition of, oh, who is being killed more, who has, human beings are being killed, human beings are being killed. And if there's anything that needs to be done for that to stop, please let them break down, or let them help, let them do whatever it is.
No, she's right. This is why I said this isn't an entertainment thing. This is real life. So if it is within in Donald's heart, do you know what I mean, to genuinely help, then so be it, innit? You know what I mean? One can't really complain, but I always look at it from a point of view, what is the bigger agenda? And I hate that I look at things that way when it comes to, do you know what I mean, certain situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep it moving. Let's go.
Probably now that there'll be more focus into, because what they are also calling now that other countries should also like sort of like imbibe what they've done. Probably by the time they put more effort, more focus on this whole issue, that Nigerians are being killed, Christians are being there's a genocide on Christians, maybe the Nigerian government will have shame and feels remorse and start actually having the political will to tackle the killings that are on. Because most times you find out that when the citizens are talking, I've always said this in plenty of places, that when we, the citizens, are calling on the Nigerian government to do something, either making demands on them or something, they never bother, they never answer until it goes international. When the international community, international media now put focus on them, you now see them actually, doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. That. It's mad when you look at it from that perspective. It makes you wonder, why do they have to be pushed by, do you know what I mean, someone else that is not, like, it makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. Like, it genuinely makes no sense. And here's the other part. As far as Donald is concerned, I need to mention this, yeah. Like, you see with what was happening in one particular region of the world, yeah, like Donald was always, it like he couldn't say no to that individual every single time. I'm not gonna say no names. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna say, because I have to be careful with the words and the names that I say on this platform. Do you know what I mean? Because I already got a warning, and YouTube is YouTube, innit? So look, at the end of the day, was it not also a situation where it was also physically harming Christians as well, even though that part of the region is majority Muslim? All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's go.
For me, the thing I see about this designation is how can it help Nigeria? How can it put more focus on it? How can it put more pressure on the Nigerian government for them to now begin to, take the protection of life seriously? Because every life is supposed to be protected. The primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and properties, and any government that fails to protect the lives and properties of its people is actually not fit, to be called a government. So the main issue is that how does this translate to, we tackling the issue of insecurity? Do we have issue of insecurity in Nigeria? Absolutely yes. Are people being killed in Nigeria? Absolutely yes. How do we stop them? That's the end story of it. It's not the argument is this or it's not that. It is you that your own person has not been killed, that you are thinking about numbers. The person that they killed, this person, his whole world crashed. There are people whose families have been wiped out. There are people who have gone through so much, grieving because their family members have over time been killed. So all this luxury of argument, whether Muslims are being killed more, whether Christians are being killed more, whatever, for me, that's not the issue. People as Nigerians being killed, as citizens being killed, can we have help to get this thing stopped? Because at this rate, there's almost lack of political will amongst, the Nigerians.
I hear what you're saying as well. Yeah, there is almost a lack of political will, but I wanna say this as well. Yeah, what as a human being, yeah, whatever country you're in, leave your answer in the comment section below. What do you expect from your government? And furthermore, when you were a child growing up, and then versus when you're a teen and when you're an adult, what are you taught about what a government does and what they don't do? Do you understand? Because I think this is one of the main issues as well. Because we rely heavily on the government. Do you know what I mean? Because I've always assumed, oh, it's the government that's supposed to be doing this, the government's supposed to do it. Then the older I'm getting, I'm realizing, hey, yo, government which part? Do you know what I mean? Like, as far as I'm aware, it's human for human. You know what I'm saying? If you are a good individual, I don't let me say good, but like if in that moment, I'm gonna use this as an example, right? Opening the door for someone in a shop as a prime example. You know what I mean? Like you either you're coming out and then obviously someone is coming in, you hold the door for them to come in first before you go out. This, I know it sounds so basic here, but on a human level, do we rely on the government for that? No. That's just us on a human level. That's as simple as I'm gonna put it. And you can do with that as you will. But let's keep moving. Let's go.
Government for them to do the need for, especially now that we have an illegitimate government in office who doesn't even seem to bother with all this thing that they are talking about. Like I was earlier today, I think I was doing a tweet, but I had so many things, then I didn't finish up that tweet. For me, I was like, terrorists in Nigeria will be very, very happy with, or they're already happy with the kind of illegitimate government that is there. You see them in the way that they are audacious in attacking people, killing people, almost as if, yes, now you know that thing where they say, now we they run this town. That's what literally the terrorists, are doing. And you would see of recently where they are talking about this coup, that there's a coup and all of that. They've shaken the military, they've reorganizing, they are retiring people. I saw one particular video, I don't know whether it's a recent one, where they showed a man who was like in Borno, that he was this retirement is retiring, and people were happy. He must have been a good boss to them. But all I was thinking was that this man is doing the work. You just remove it. Who is not going to be doing the work? Who has the institutional knowledge? Who has the historical background knowledge of the war and will be able to tackle it? Now you've made how many generals to now resign? You can't train general in a day. It takes years and years, decades and decades for you to be able.
Facts. It's true. You can't train a general in a day. It takes decades. It genuinely takes decades. And leadership can't be taught either. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. You can't. This is interesting. But then again, how do you? how do you tackle this problem? Leave your answer in the comment section below. Irrespective of Donald wanting to help, how would you go about tackling this issue? You know what I mean? Because it's been going on before before Donald was president. You know what I mean? Even the first time it's been going on since, like, you get it? It's been going on for a long while. Yeah. I mean, I've got my thoughts, but I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving.
To train someone to be in that place to know those positions. Now you just removing them. Meanwhile, we are fighting a war against terrorism, a war that we are not even, defeating as much as we can. We see where they talk about peace talk, and you're talking about peace talk, and guess what is happening? These terrorists are coming armed to the teeth. They are issue for them. It's not peace talk they are coming for. They are coming to do show of force. They are coming to tell the villagers around them, look, now we they run this town. Don't you dare think that there's anybody who is going to come from Abuja or wherever to come and save you people, military. I saw this.
It's interesting that she's saying this. Do you know why? Because, again, she just mentioned about the peace talks, yeah? And then they're still going on doing their audacious, disgusting, despicable behavior. Obviously, she never said despicable behavior, but yeah, I'm adding. But, like, no, for real though, like, if you think about it, even when Donald was trying to do peace talks for a different region, yeah, guess what was still happening? So what's the difference? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, like, what's the difference if he does come in? Is it still going to be the same problem? Come on, man.
Also on social media where they had a video of some people who were being attacked, by the terrorists, and he was like, we are being overwhelmed, we are being attacked. And in the background, you see someone who was calling maybe his family members or loved one and telling them, hey, that see what is going on in case you don't care for us. These are harrowing experiences that people go through every day. If we think about, the families, the loved ones of military people, of soldiers, what they have to go through, even the soldiers at the battlefront, what they have to go through. They are telling us they are not being fed well, their allowances are taken away, even when they're killed, their families are not looked after. So you really ask yourself, where is that loyalty going to come from, where people will say, oh, we're going to put everything that we can, to having a nation that works for everyone. So for me, this designation as country of particular concern, if this is what we motivate, the ones in Nigeria to take this thing on, the killings of citizens that have been happening, and actually begin to work toward it, for the killings to stop. So be it. For me, whatever political this way arguing, it's not like that. Please, can they just help us stop the killings? It's crazy. The number of people that are being killed, it's unbelievable. And we just want it to stop. Thank you so much for watching.
I hear it. See, spoke well on that.
With Monday.com's intuitive work platform, you have the,
because that's the essential part of it. It needs to stop, irrespective of which, you know what I'm saying, side you want to be on. You know what I mean? We need to be on the side of humanity, and that's the main thing. But we ain't done yet, so yeah, me. Let's continue. Let's read what people say in the comments real quick. First of all, I'm gonna subscribe to her channel because it'll be very shameless of me to do this and not subscribe to her channel. You know what I mean? Especially knowing that she's involved with Bring Our Girls Back Home movement, or I may have said that incorrect, but if Bring Back Our Girls, that's it. She's involved with that. Just in case you're wondering where she's from, all right? That's another reason why her voice is very important in regards to this matter. So this has long been overdue. Let me so let's see. All right, I'd like to go to the most recent comments, yeah, like recent comments. So anyway, someone says Nigeria should please open their eyes and see that I'm gonna not mention the country name. If you can see, you can see it. It's only because of how YouTube can, you know what I mean? Some people can say words and they can get away with it. Me, I can't. It's really not here to help, but exploit. You see? countries send I don't know what that is, but countries send this issue will be non-existent. Bring another country into your country. It won't end well. You just fix a country to do a complete overhaul. Area system. The people are the power. See, this is what I'm trying to say earlier in regards to the opening the door situation. It's on a human thing. It's people who are the power. But let's keep it moving. You should have a civil coup to remove the government and then start rebuilding by bringing everyone, every tribe, every religion to the table. That's how Nigeria is saved. If this isn't done, bring USA to save you. Oh, sorry, I even said it's bring to save you. Well, it's from fire to lava. Freedom is never given but taken. Yeah, well said. Because it's true, like that's the one thing I've seen over the years, yeah. Freedom is never really given, it's taken. And you can't expect it from someone else. Anyway, so they kept Kanu in custody for almost 5 years, yet he rehabilitates and puts them in army. Useless. Okay, don't see why that's got to do anything with anything. Christian is now the useless. Okay, I'm not even gonna read that. If the BH bandits and kidnappers are so-called Christians, it would have ended by now. But because they are so-called Muslims, are treated with levity. Northern elites are happy to be NSA, Minister, Defense, and so on. Same on the North for their intolerance that brought us to this madness. I'm not like that. On the side, I agree. I'm not 100% certain on everything that's going on, if I'm real with you, but I can definitely see there is a problem. This problem truly needs to be solved, but we have to solve it ourselves because history has taught us outside help has never ever gone down well. Do you know what I mean? It's never gone down well. It's never. All right, leave your answer in the comment section below. Name a country, yeah, in the world. It could be an African country, a Caribbean country, European country, Asian country, American country. Name a country, yeah, that has managed to do well from the pit. I don't want to say the pit, because that sounds too drastic, but you get the point. To the point where they get an outside help, particularly from a certain particular country. Let me know in the comments below. Has that country ever continued to do well? Do you know what I mean? Just think about it. Have they? But anyway, while you think of that, let me pull up my notes for real quick. The next one we're gonna react to is, let me go back to our page right now, real quick. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Be very intrigued to know. Where is it? So, in fact, it would have been easy for me to. There you go. It's right there. It's right here. We go. You see the title already. I ain't gonna say it.
Cleansing changed the way I energize.
Yeah, it's right.
Read the label of any energy. All you'll find are artificial ingredients or loads of sugar.
Anyway,
Hello.
Listen, turn on your post notifications if you haven't already. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Get me? I am now getting back to being consistent. You know what I mean? So anything you want me to react to, please let me know in the comments below. And if I can react to it, I'll react to it. If it's something that is not for this channel, but for my other channel, the Real Versatile channel, then go ahead. I will let you know that it's for the Real Versatile channel, and I'll react to it on there. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep it moving. Let's go.
Everyone, the question now on everybody's mouth, or maybe it's only those on Twitter that are concerned about this, or maybe those on social media, is that Is Trump going to invade Nigeria? Vanguard is reporting here, is saying Trump does not rule out any kind of Nigerian military operation. First of all,
this is the thing, yeah. I meant to look at the date for that situation. Oh, it doesn't matter now. But anyway, look. Do you know what's mad interesting here about life here? Think about this for a moment. Why isn't Donald making America great again? Because the whole time this is happening, I hope you know the US government has been, I'm being careful for my words, but that government has been on a shutdown. The federal government has been on a shutdown. Like, let's make it make sense.
if it was, another president that was president of United States, I would say, please, that's not good. But Trump, he's unhinged, so he does all sorts of things.
I know the way she said it. Trump, he's unhinged. I shouldn't even laugh like this, yeah, because it's true. He is unhinged. You don't know whether he's coming or going. You don't know what to expect from him. You don't. And it's sad that we don't know what's happening with him. But let's go.
First of all, if it was, another president that was president of United States, I would say, please, that's not good. But Trump, he's unhinged, so he does all sorts of things, and he believes himself. Whatever it is that he believes it is, that's what it is. So with Trump, you really can't say. But is it something that makes sense? Absolutely not. Designation of a country as a country of particular concern doesn't necessarily mean that, they're going to swoop in. I mean, if you look at the countries that have been designated, a lot of countries like China, Saudi Arabia are all there, and these are literally like, business.
Do you know what? I got an interesting thing to find out. Let's find out who is on that list. Let's see. Let's find out who's on that list. Country of concern. USA lists. Countries of particular concern. Hey yo, there really is this list. Hey, this is mad. Like, if I was to show you this, I would show you this, but I don't know if the order will come off of this. But this is mad. Where's the list? Where's the full? Okay, I thought this would be the full list, but it's not. It's just their website. Maybe. Okay, there's there. Okay. Yeah. Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria is there now. Oh yeah, 31st of October. Let's just say it there. It's on the 31st of October on Halloween. Funny enough. Of course, another country I just seen. Eritrea. Eritrea is there. Nah, wait. Time out. Eritrea is there, right? Hey, listen. You see what? If Nigeria is serious, yeah, they would team up with, you know what I'm saying, and like the same way President Ibrahim Traore is teamed up with, you know what I'm saying? Then they won't mess with us. Let's be real. Let's go.
Partners and sometimes allies of United States of America. But then, like I said earlier, with the Trump administration, it's a matter of here and there. And so that's let me just say this. So I see a lot of people who are like welcoming and wanting an invasion. Let them come with their bullets and this thing on Nigeria. I'm like, bullets don't bullets don't know religion. Bullets don't know religion. Bullets don't know tribe. They don't even know gender. They don't.
Look how she's breaking that down. It's true, because once that, yes, there's some people that can survive and do survive, but some don't. Do you know what I mean? And this is what's one of the saddest things as well when it comes to these situations. Yeah, we could say, yeah, come Trump, bring in come Donald, bring in the forces. That's not gonna solve the problem, if I'm honest. Like, how does that solve the problem? Like, think about it, yeah. I'm not okay. Years have gone by here, but you see, when there was that situation in, I believe it was a country beginning with A. I'm not going to say the name because there's certain words and names I can't say on YouTube. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And the T, basically, what happened was they ran that army out of that country. What are we talking about? Like, they ran them out of the country. Now they're the ones in charge right now. If you think I'm lying, go check that for yourself. I think you know what country I'm talking about. You see what I'm gonna say? You know, if you want help in doing a bit further investigation, begins with an A, ends with an N. The T that took over begins with a T, ends with an N. That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
Hit back, and they do what they want to do. And then they're not even, I'm not even if they're going to come, they're not going to come be on the street and be throwing one thing, probably be dropping certain things down. And the way we are in Nigeria, we are intertwined. So it's not as if, oh, this part is only Muslims, this part is only Christian, this part is other religion, this part is traditional. We're all intertwined. So let us all be calming down. But what do we need? Do we need help, in fighting the terrorists? Absolutely, yes. Has our leader failed us? Has the government failed these people in terms of protecting the people? Absolutely, yes. But let me just go back and look at this, this article. It said, Trump does not rule out any kind of military operation in Nigeria. Washington, so they say US President Donald Trump on Sunday repeated his threat for a military operation in Nigeria over killings of Christians after the Nigerian presidency suggested a meeting to resolve the issue. I'm going to beat on that also, Nigerian presidency. But let me just tell you something. One of the things that Trump is very good at is how to sell himself. And he will latch on anything that will project him and sell himself. And for now, anything that has to do with Christianity, and I'll give you an example. It's not really because Trump is a Christian, or he really cares, but why?
I don't think because he knows how to sell himself. You know what it is? I think this is what I genuinely believe. I genuinely believe that even if it was, let's say, for example, if Harris won the election, yeah, and she was the president, it will be the same notion. Do you get it? It will literally be the same notion. It's just the fact of, how do I put it? You see how people can perceive it. All right, look, the way that country has used mass media to promote themselves and basically sell themselves. Like, if you think about it, the music, they're dominating in music, yeah. Movies, they're more or less dominating in movies, but no one makes better part 1 and 2s and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 other than Nollywood. Like, no one, Hollywood can't do that. You know what I mean? But that aside, all jokes aside, no, seriously, on a search level. But then when you're looking at, for example, news, again, the majority is from, you know what I'm saying? From that region, that country. So, and over the years, you're seeing this consistent. So our minds are more or less, I'm not going to use the word brainwash because that's the wrong terminology to use, but our brains are wired to believe in the perception of that country being bigger than what it actually is. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it, that's why they have that audacious mindset in general. Like, even if you look at those who, anyway, let's just stay focused. But let's put it this way: there's a perception, you know what I mean? And It is what it is. But yeah, man. Because how you view, because think about America, that country, it's funny, yeah, because that country would at a particular point in time, when it comes to anything outside of the country, know what they don't care when it comes to mainstream media. They don't really care. They genuinely don't care. They look at other countries and see them as less than. That's how they see it. That's how they genuinely see it. Anything outside, they live in a bubble. And they think that country is bigger than everything and everyone else. And that's how, do you know what I mean? Like, all that president is an extension of what America, what that country is, basically, in terms of the egomaniac. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's go.
And for me, one of the things I said is that I love the fact that the American presidency is going to show up US in a way that a lot of people don't know it. Many people don't know that US have a lot of Christians, even Christian fundamentalists, just like you have Islamic Muslim fundamentalists. I mean, these people are like, oh, is this way or not highway? Because when people think about America, they always think about, oh, those people who are sinners, who don't do religion. I think America is one of the countries in the world that is very religious. And when we are talking about religion, we're talking about deep core religion. They have all manner of sects. They have the ones that up to today, they don't use electricity. The Amish people, their own Christianity, they don't do electricity.
Okay, I hear what she's saying, but we need to stay focused. We need to stay focused, all right? Because yes, you have certain sectors of Christianities that don't adhere to, that basically live a certain lifestyle. We understand that. But as far as the way that the red side and the blue side, I'm not going to say that, not Bloods and Crips, but you know what I'm saying? You might as well call them Bloods and Crips. Yeah. Basically, the way that they are is not a real true representation of Christian values. That's all I'm saying on that part. That's not a true representation of Christian values. Listen, if you're a Christian, you would know this. And obviously, we can see from the way she's dressed, she's more, you know what I mean? Look like she's more a Muslim, which is fine. You can believe in whatever religion you want to believe in, whatever the case is. Everyone's entitled to believe whatever religion they want to believe in and live that lifestyle. But I'm just saying, from what I see, if you have true Christian values, or even if you have true Muslim values, I don't know too much about Muslims, so it is what it is, right? But like, as far as Christian values, that country does not have that. You may have a certain set of individuals on an individual level that try to live that lifestyle. That's them. But as far as the main ethos, the main people that are, you know what I mean, the way they move, you can't even tell me they're religious. They can blur out and say that they're this, they're that. How? Like how? The same way you can say that they were Christians that were using a cross, but having using a blank sheet over their head, and you know what I mean, putting holes in it so they can see, and burning crosses and burning black people's houses. You telling me that's Christian values? I'm just saying what it is, innit? Do you know what I mean? You can, if you want to look deeper in that history, you can. Do you know what I mean? That's there. Like well, I know we're gonna leave that for another day. So stay subscribed, turn on your post notifications. I will show you exactly what I mean. Do you know what I mean? But I'm gonna present it in a way where it's not too, you know what I mean? It's just on the educational level, so many people can understand that. Yeah, it's a lot deeper than you actually realize. Let's go.
They don't do modern things. They don't even ride cars. They still do, horses and their carriages and stuff like that. You have the Mennonites, those ones, a little bit, they do, they sort of like do electricity, they do a bit of modern technology, but they stay segregated. They wear long clothes, not necessarily like hijab, they all tie their hair. Even the Amish people, you know, keep their hair tied. And then you have the Mormons, that those ones, they do all of those. The Amish people, their education doesn't pass a certain level. The Mormons are also there. Sorry about that. And the Mormons are also there, who are also conservative. Then you have the different. There are some that they marry plenty, more than one wife, marry plenty wives. There are some that are sect in places, you know. So and the only way that, and that's for me why I always talk about this separation of religion and the state. Your religion is a personal affair, keep it to yourself. And then what the US have been able to do was to take out religion out of everything, to say, okay, go do your business. In short, it was the Bible that was used in that slavery, where people will pray over people and then use horses to drag them on the floor, where people said they had the right to kill black people. It was used. And one of the things, whether the Bible or the Quran, if you want to use it for bad, you can always find something to justify whatever it is that you want to do. It's always about your understanding of it, right? So some people will twist it in all the books. That's how it is, because there are times where
he's mentioned this, but we need to stay on point. All right. The point is Donald trying to invade Nigeria or not? Me personally, I don't see it happening. If it does happen, it happens, but I very much doubt it. Yeah, because when we talk about democracy, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to let him come. Like, let Tinubu come to the table. Yeah, if he's not gonna show up in America or show up in that country, so to speak, you know what I mean? Do like a FaceTime or something, and come to a resolution. Or if you need the one of the see, this is why I should know more. Yeah, it's making me realize I don't know diddly squat in regards to the Nigerian government in terms of the layouts and stuff like that. But like, look, either way, the person who's supposed to be minister in the foreign affairs, let them go over there or make them come over and discuss, or go to a neutral ground and discuss and come to a resolution. Talk like grown adults. Let's not all do this rhetoric talk. Do you know what I mean? Fear mongering. Or even if it's not fear mongering, doing hype tactics, thinking a resolution is going to be made. Yeah? At least come to the table first. Talk like adults. Find a solution, then be active on it. That's my personal opinion. That's what I feel should happen. But
were hard, they had to have hard measures. But what happens is that some people don't balance it. They will take it the way that they want to, the manner they want to, and take it. So what I always tell people, whatever religion it is, it can be used for good, it can be used for bad, depending on the people who want to use it, the way they want to use it, and the way they want to interpret it. Just like we have, I think it was Uganda. Is it Kona or Koni or Kona? That's his name.
Oh, yeah.
The one that has something about there's a way he calls it. The one that even went ahead to kidnap children before the Chibok girls' abduction. There was one that had happened. I think.
Funny, it's interesting now she's mentioning that, because it's making me realize that time when that happened. Yeah, this is what's so interesting. This is why I have such a mad perception when it comes to these incidents. Yeah, and I'm call them incidents, because even in that moment of that happening, I was still thinking propaganda. Don't ask me why and how I knew that. I didn't really dive deep into it at that particular time, to be honest. But when I did try to dive deep into it, there were certain things that okay, you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. But anyway,
Uganda, where that particular, they call themselves something for God or prosecute, and he said he was hearing word that God was speaking to him, and it was all out the way. It was a terrorist group killing people, abducting people, and all of that. But so at the end of the day, what like the United States were able to do was to use the state, and that's what Nigeria is supposed to do. Look, anybody where he head say they mad, correct. If the state is ready, the state will take care of it. And that is where Nigeria has failed. Nigeria has not done what it's supposed to do. For example, when you talk about blasphemy law, you say somebody has insulted either what you worship or what you hold dear, and then you go and kill that person. I always ask the question, who decide what is blasphemy? I've done videos on that. I've spoken on that.
I'm not even going to talk on that, but that's funny
a lot
to me,
of time to say, who is it that decides what is blasphemy? What is blasphemy to me is not blasphemy to you. What is blasphemy to you is not blasphemy to me. And so who is it? And you will say that, oh, somebody has done this, somebody insulted the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you go and be killing. Did the Prophet kill anybody that insulted him when he was there? No, he never did. So where are you taking this onto yourself? And then
I like how she's saying this, because you know what's making, because you know what they always use that rhetoric that is this, is that. Thank you.
Like I saw someone say, oh, everybody should respect everybody's religion. But then in also everybody's religion, everybody has their own. For example, the Christians, as far as they are concerned, Jesus is the Son of God. But as a Muslim, that's not my own belief. And so if this for them, when they say it's the Son of God, it's like blasphemy to me. For me, when I say it's not the Son of God, it's like blasphemy to me. If I'm going to be killing anybody, who is going to remain? And did God ask you to do that? Did God ask you to go and keep people on his bed? Why don't you stay and focus on your religion and the good things that you do, so that when people see you, like, oh, okay, oh, this great, amazing thing. Why don't you even, for my fellow Muslims, I'll say, why don't you even go and plant trees? That's something that will get reward for, even when we are no longer alive. But let me quickly come to this. Sorry, this something is getting so long. Let me quickly come here. Asked by an AFP reporter aboard Air Force One if he was considering U.S. troops on the ground in Nigeria or airstrike, Trump replied, could be. I mean a lot of things. I envisage a lot of things. They are killing Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We are not going to allow that to happen. In an explosive post on his tweet, okay, the other one that he put, even the way he's talking, Trump just talks anyhow. But then I don't have issue with Trump. I have an issue with my government that has refused to protect lives and property. Why would people be taking people's lives? Why would people be killing people and getting away with it? The primary responsibility of any government is to protect lives and properties. And any government that cannot protect the lives and properties of its people is not fit to be a government. Thank you so much for watching.
She's right, and this is what I want to ask in the comments below, yeah? You see, when it comes down to I know, for real though, yeah. Listen.
Any business that sells.
Look, I'm gonna ask you this in the comments below, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I've asked this before, but you can, if you haven't left a comment in regards to it, please do now. When did you learn of the government being a certain what's the word I want to use? Like, when did you learn that they are supposed to protect and be for the people? When did you learn that? And because it's getting me to think, how are governments meant to work? Do you understand? What is an example of a government? What country? Leave your answer in the comments below. What country can you see as a shining example of how a government should be? Let's start there. Then I want to say, what example of a government are you seeing that you believe should happen? What did you learn? That didn't even make sense what I just said. I just realized. But the point is, yeah, that's a good question though. What country is a shining example of a great government that looks out for their people? Because the way I see it, everyone has selfish interests. Whether you like it or not, everybody has selfish interests there. Especially, like, listen, I'm talking about on the government level. Like, everyone has selfish interests. Everyone. They'll make a promise for them to get there, but then meanwhile in office, if they know they can make money in certain ways, they will do so. If it means they can make connections with other people in certain ways, they will do so. Someone said, clueless video. I beg Trump should hurry up and come. Really? I just not Muslim think the way you do. Islam's happened to be the problem of the world, not just Nigeria. Okay. I like to write comments, but when I read them and I realize I don't agree. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, if it happens, it will show who they really are, as if many are not realizing now. You know what I mean? Because it's a deeper thing than what we are realizing, yeah. And as much as you didn't mention about if Donald invaded Nigeria, let's be honest, you never know. Let's put it this way: you just never know. You never know. But what we are going to do is we are going to go over to Instagram real quick. All right, and I'm going to show you something I saw recently that I had. Well, I say something we need to react to as well. So shout out to Charmainesposts. Or get me, cultural commentator, teaching business strategy through popular culture. Oh, that's what she does. Didn't know what she does, but I seen like this was because I saw a part of it. I was reacting to the Shadeborough situation with Bouncer and stuff like that, and then I realized he mentioned this person. I'm like, yo, this is literally an idea for a live stream. Basically the next day, but I saw it yesterday. I'm like, cool, thank you very much. So shout out to Bouncer, man. Do you know what I mean? Because I would have never really have seen this had he not posted this. But anyway, let's go. So he posted this 5 days ago, yeah? Let's just read the caption first, though. It says, Donald says Christians are being in Nigeria. Now he wants Congress involved. Is this a concern or cover? Because when America moves like this is really rarely just about faith. Is it about God or gas? I like the way he said that. It is about God or gas. Anyway, let's go. I want to see if I can okay.
It's been brewing for years. Armed groups, gunmen, rogue herders, all moving through gaps that the governments have failed to fill, right? Isn't this the same play that we've seen in Haiti, Sudan, DRC? Convenient?
Hang on. We got to start from the beginning, though. Hold on.
Is Trump really trying to play with this strategic messaging about Nigeria? So he just called Nigeria a country of particular concern because, in his words, Christians are being slaughtered. And he is talking about the 3,100 Christians who've sadly been killed, right? But we need to slow that right down because when you use faith like that and you ignore the Muslims dying too, it starts to feel like their lives don't count. And more than that, it hides what's actually driving the violence because do you really think that this is about religion? Anyway, I need you guys to stick with me so you can see what's actually going on here, right? It's the same conflict, same killers, and this isn't new. It's chaos that's been brewing for years. Armed groups, gunmen, rogue herders, all moving through gaps that the governments have failed to fill, right? Isn't this the same play that we've seen in Haiti, Sudan, DRC? Convenient? Break the state, then swoop in with a savior story. Why now? Why Nigeria? Well, here's what they're not saying, right? Nigeria's got $40 billion in oil exports, some of the largest gas reserves in Africa, solid minerals, gold, lithium, tin, resources that maybe the US needs, especially in a Cold War with China. And it's not just what's underground, is it? It's the land. The middle belt grows the food that feeds the nation, fertile, rain-fed, high yield. And guess where the most violence hits? Right there. And I need to clarify, right? People aren't being killed just because they're Christian. They're being killed because they're in the way. And many of them happen to be Christian because that's what it dominates that area, right? So this isn't just about faith. It's about land control, food and power. That same zone full of ginger farms, mineral-rich soil, and foreign players are circling. The Gates Foundation invested in smallholder farming, agri-tech, yield targets. And this is not a conspiracy, right? This is public record. But when the West enters through aid, you know, it rarely ever stops at support. And some will say that these killers don't move alone, right? They're backed, tolerated, or armed by whoever's buying access. Local counterparts, foreign deals, the highest bidder. So when you hear Christian persecution, ask what's really at stake and how close the nearest air path is, right? Because China's already imports, refineries, defense deals, ammunition factories, and now Trump wants Congress to get involved. That's not just concern. That's positioning. Because when America talks about saving Christians overseas, come on, man, is this really about faith? It looks like it might be a green light. It moves money, activates voters, justifies presence. And while that's happening, he's also saying, you know what? Maybe we should save Nigeria's best talent and make them come over and move to America. So which is it? Are you worried about the people dying? Or are you more concerned about scouting the ones who survive? That's not rescue, that's resource control. So what's the play? If I'm Nigeria, I tighten internal defense, limit foreign boots. If I'm a citizen, start asking who's funding the next rescue mission. This isn't about God, is it? What is it about? Nigeria's rise, the deals, the land, the leverage. Have they made it too powerful to ignore? Anyway, let's talk. Is Trump really trying to play in our faces with this?
Speaking of absolute facts. And, well, let me not use the word facts because I'm going to say allegedly. Do you know what I mean? Just for, you know what I'm saying? So let's see to the comments. So Emma says SMH. Shout out to Emma K. I need to read to some of her content. She's hilarious. Joseph says, anyone who think America doesn't care about religion, you are so unaware. For real. Ayo Deji Moses says, how am I even following? You know nothing about Nigeria. See, this is where it becomes interesting because those in Nigeria, what are they seeing? What are they experiencing? This is the other thing we have to realize. But again, you got those looking from the outside looking in and those from the inside looking out. Do you get it? So, for example, Aisha, who we just reacted to, like she's within, you know what I mean? So, but she's more concerned of the problem needs to be solved. The issue needs to be solved. Yeah. But what I do like about what Charmaine was saying, if it is this, that it is a deeper concern, then we need to be concerned about that. But listen, if it really is about, because if it's about God, then let's keep it real. Who God blesses, no man can curse. And I will say this. Who God blesses, no man can curse. So the joke is on. That's the joke's on them, essentially. All right, let's get to the next one because she got another one. Shout out to her for this. You know what I mean? Shout out to anyone she's speaking on this for real. Because I know I took my time to speak on this. Because you know what it is, yeah? Anytime I talk about certain issues, it's like I always feel strongly about some things. And if I say some things, it's like I want to be able to back it with action. Do you get it? That's my main concern. But let's keep it moving. Let's see what she says in this one. Before we get that, let's read her description first, or caption first. It says, where is the African Union? It was meant to be the continent's shield, set up in 2002 to promote peace, unity, and self-determination. But over 60% of its funding still comes from foreign donors. That's a concern. Because it shouldn't be coming from foreign donors. When you've got a lot of billionaires, obviously in African currencies, yeah, but still a big deal. Like, they should be also funding, you know what I mean? That's my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below who should be funding it. You know what I mean? But anyway, so including the EU, US, and China, if outsiders are footing the bill, who's really accountable to? The AU has peacekeeping forces, early warning systems, and regional diplomacy tools. But when countries fall, Sudan, Mali, Tanzania, Congo, now parts of Nigeria, all we hear is silence and Western savior calls. So what happens when when the body built to protect the continent can't even stand on its own feet? Hey, the way she broke that down was mad. Hey, nah, that's a good question. So what happens when the body built to protect the continent can't even stand on its own feet? Anyway, talk to me in the comments. Should we still believe in the AU, or is it time to build something else? But yeah, let's just start from the beginning, obviously.
So Trump's decided he's going to enter Nigeria as a savior. But we've got to ask, if he really cares about Nigeria so much, then why did you reject almost half of Nigerian visitor applications? A lot of those being people saying that they're fleeing from the same violence that you claim to care about. And I mean, if he truly cares about Christians, what about the ones whose SNAP benefits he cut in his own country? Many of them are Christian, but no one's saying Trump is starving millions of Christians in America. And listen, I'm a Christian, right? But we need to look at this man's intentions. And while we're saying all of this, where the hell is the African Union? Every time Africa's in crisis, people start calling the same powers that looted us to come and save us. But I guess then we have to think about who funds the African Union, because when the US, EU and China hold the purse, who are they really accountable to? Parts of Nigeria are in the grip of unrest. Armed groups control regions. People are dying. And I need to be clear, right? I'm not doing these videos to try and downplay anyone's pain. My thoughts and prayers are really with the victims, the families, the women, the children. And to the people saying, what if this was your family? You know what? You're completely right. That's why the response has to be smart, not sentimental. Since 2022, we've seen coups, vacuums, and violence spreading. Listen, Sudan's collapsed, Congo bleeds, Cameroon's cracking, Venezuela, the Caribbean, Tanzania under pressure. Reports in Tanzania are saying that their president has fled, right? But listen, every time the answer is the same call, right? Let's call the West. Is that strategy of Stockholm syndrome? If the same powers propped up dictators, funded rebels, and walked off with our minerals, how can they be the ones to save us now? Like, honestly, guys, where do you think that these armed groups got their weapons from? Their own US Congressman Scott Perry even claimed that USAID funded some of them, right? Nigeria's Senate opened an investigation. Listen, if that's true, we need to see who is really holding the gun. And while aid's saving lives, some are asking if a country needs billionaires to survive. Is it really free or just on life support? Trump, I know you say you care, but while you're holding the mic, can we also ask, where are the Epstein files, yeah? Listen, in my last post, I focused on the problem, and here's where I stand corrected, right? We need solutions. If we don't want foreign boots, Africa needs a spine. The African Union must answer to Africans, not donors. Nigeria's leaders must protect the people, and the same with other African leaders, right? Not just secure the deals. And across the diaspora, we need to stop calling saviors and start backing systems. This isn't just about resisting the West. It's about building something that can stand without them. Anyway, let's talk in the comment section. I'm sure there's plenty insults coming my way, but I have to talk. I've been given this voice for a reason. Okay, so Trump's...
Once again, well said. Like, once again, well said. And the way the fact that she mentioned, I think that she said, did she say Scott Perry? Because when I was trying to prepare for this live stream, yeah, like I knew someone mentioned about those particular groups being funded by a particular, do you know what I mean? Like I know I saw it somewhere. Like whether it's months ago or years ago, I know I saw it. And I was just so surprised that that information was out there like that. I promise you I was shocked. But if I can look for it and show you, you will see it for yourself. But other than that, let's just read the comments real quick, yeah? Oh, look, hang on. Look, she even says show sources. Hang on. Hold on. Shout her out for this, yeah? It's one thing to talk, but then to talk with with citations. Salutations. She said, I'm going to give you the sources. If you don't want to believe me, believe the sources that you see there. And if you don't want to believe that, that's on you. I shouldn't say it like that, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, open your mouth and someone said, open your mouth and vomit nonsense. Lassie said she got insults are coming away. She saw it coming. How much were you paid? If you're not in Nigeria, you're not experiencing things firsthand. Okay, let's carry on. I respectfully say, please sit this one out. When you talk about the army and insurgents, I have just one question. The same administration. It's crazy that people come online trying to use this situation to chase clout and get paid. People are really out here and I suppose the government is doing nothing about it. And even if you were blind and you would still be able to see the issue with Muslim and Muslim presidency, it should give you an invite why they would not want that to and not want people that can expose them come into the issue. And for crying out loud, Donald never said he was coming to take over the country. Did we not just react to Aisha's post in regards to Donald invading? Is he going to invade Nigeria? Did we not react to that? But anyway, the subject was where was it? No civil come take over the country or be at war with Nigeria. The subject was on wiping out the. If you want to talk about the Epstein files, do it on another post. Bringing it up here just makes it sound like you're trying to deflect from the real issue, using a completely different topic as leverage to someone up in distasteful. Now, but I hear what they're saying, but hear me out. This is where it becomes a situation. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. Do you know what I mean? There's a problem here that needs to be solved. She literally said we need solutions. Do you understand? She's literally saying we need solutions. So my thing is, if you're not going to come with solutions, then what are we talking about? I get if you're saying you're not here firsthand, cool, understandable. But again, what solution do you think can be possible if you are having firsthand experience? Do you understand? That's what makes that would be the first question I would ask if that was under my comments. They're like, okay, you have firsthand experience. From what you are seeing and experiencing, what would be the best solution that you think could help? Do you know what I mean? Because this is where it can become techie for a lot of situations. But anyway, so instead, sorry, hold on. Please speak our native African language, not the USA or British language. Then we'll know you understand what you're saying. If you're not the diplomatic part of them, see this don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. The only reason why we speak English, yeah, like in case they didn't know, in case you didn't know, the reason why we speak English is because of colonization. It's the same thing that she literally just mentioned here in this video. Like that's the reason why we speak English. That's the reason. That's the reason we speak English. There's no other reason than that. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much on this type of situation like that. Get me? Because sometimes some people are trolls. Yeah, they're the ones who are real trolls going on pages online to try to deflect from the situation. Do you understand? It happens. You think it don't happen? No, it happens. Anyway, someone even said, we know these things. They did it to Libya. There you go. Anyway. A solution will happen for our best interest. You know what I mean? For our best interest, it will happen. I've got no doubt about it. I'm a strong believer in God, pure faith in God, and no matter what, yeah, I always feel like do you know what I mean? When you have that faith and that belief, even if you don't know exactly what's going to happen, that the details, it ends up happening. Do you understand? That's why I try to think positive as well. But anyway, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to YouTube, yeah. But before we go back to YouTube, I want to see if I can find this thing about that post. Was it Scott Perry? In fact, let's go on here real quick so you can see what I'm doing. So Scott Perry, channels, TV, foreign aid. Let me see. I'm telling you this from now. If I can see this, all right, Allow cookies. Get me. Okay. Log in. Do you know what I mean? Log in. But yeah, man, hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notification if you haven't already. Shout out to all the returning subscribers. Big you up, all up. Like, I respect all of you. Yeah, me. Thank you. I appreciate you rocking with me, man, because I know I haven't been as consistent, but now I'm going to be as consistent as possible. Look, I have to verify if I'm using my own device. Imagine. That's how much I don't really go on Facebook like that. I promise you. I go on Facebook now and again, like, where I saw it, hang on. So bear with me, people, as I find this to verify if it's here somewhere. Where is it? Let me take my time, because you know we got so many notifications in your phone. Oh, there you go. Someone's trying to log in. Yes, it's me. Allow me, fam. Get me. All right. Trust this device. Yeah, trust the device because it's my device. All right. Listen, bear with me, people. This is the things we have to do in it. Technology in it. That's safety, though. That's safety. That's a good thing. If it's one thing about technology, that's safety. Okay, let's go to this real quick.
In the room, who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds, madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring, who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody?
Hey, yo, listen, hear me out, yeah? This is mad, yeah? This is mad. We're going to go back to YouTube. But you heard that. But that second clip, yeah, I'm going to see if I could do it properly here. Scott Perry, USAID. Because I knew I heard it. Like, I knew I heard it. Let me see if I can. I want to be careful with the platform I go to. This probably be a good one. That's the same. That's literally the same one, but longer.
Name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds, madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel, entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door. USAID spent $840 million in the last 20 years on Pakistan's education-related program. It includes $136 million to build 120 schools, of which there is zero evidence that any of them were built. Why would there be any evidence? The Inspector General can't get in to see them. But you know what? We doubled down and spent $20 million from USAID to create educational television programs for children unable to attend the physical school. Yeah, they can't attend it because it doesn't exist. You paid for it. Somebody else got the money. You are paying for terrorism. This has got to end. I yield, Mr. Chairman. Name ring a bell?
One more time until he mentioned it, because you need to understand. You need to understand. This is deep. Because I knew I heard this before and saw it. I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? But
Bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Khorasan.
there you go.
Terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring,
We are back live with Mr.
name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money,
Anyway, let's just get to the video.
your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas.
Yeah, like we've literally heard enough. We've heard enough. Let's just get straight into this one. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications. Again, you see the title already. Let's go. I'm not going to try and pause as much because I'm just realizing what the time is. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Build website you love with Wix. For your words.
All right, so during the 2022 campaign for the 2023 election, there were a lot of rumors about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying they wear pampers because in the peaceful body, they even call him shaky shaky daddy. So they say Tinubu no they fit to become the president. At the end of the day, he later became the president. And then they now said, it was all rumor, it was never true. That time na rumor. With the kind of pressure where Donald Trump, they give Tinubu this period, he go need that pampers because there's no way he no go peaceful body.
I don't want to vividly see that. Can you not say that, Ray Darkman Platt? Please.
This period,
let's go.
The pressure is hot. So, according to the news, as you can see, Trump threatens military action in Nigeria over protection of Christians. Tinubu dey hot seat. This is what Trump said. If the Nigerian government continues to allow the buying of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into the now disgraced country and blazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists.
You know what's mad? But didn't he not stop USA aid already? Wasn't that what we were just watching in regards to the Scott Perry situation? Because they were putting that anyway. But I guess there's various aid they give, I'm guessing. I need to double check everything. But we saw that video, right?
Who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet. Just like the attack our cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast. Oh boy, see threats. There's no way Tinubu no go peace somebody. I see a lot of people celebrating. Oh, Donald Trump is coming to rescue Nigeria, you know. But at the end of the day, it's his aim actually to protect the Christians. Because whether you like it or not, this whole thing is a game of interests. But I like the pressure that they are giving to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Before I come to Donald Trump, I love the pressure because he did the same thing when Goodluck Jonathan was in power. Just because they wanted Goodluck out, they were pushing different agenda, different things in order to get Goodluck out of power. As you can see, he said a lot of things. Number one, let's look at the first one. Yeah. So this is what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said. He said, the buying of Christians worshippers is strongly condemnable. It calls to question competence of Jonathan to protect Nigeria. An attack to Jonathan using the Christians, right? He also made a lot of tweets to target Jonathan and to target his regime, right? He said, on the matter of security, the buck stops at the president's table. Like in other countries, Jonathan is the chief security officer. Stop Boko Haram. He also made this tweet, a military and police force assembled and paid by the Jonathan government, and PDP cannot serve national interests but their paymasters. He also said the sheer number of unemployed youths who turned out for job at NIS and the tragic buy in the Albatross on the neck of Jonathan's government. The cannot attack is sad reminder that we live in an unsafe country. It's a wake-up call for the Jonathan government. We must confront terrorism. So the same thing now.
That's what I'm saying. The same thing that's happening when the same thing that's happening while now you're president. What's happening? What are you doing? To the point now you got Donald, you know, trying to obviously not duck the situation. But excuse me. But anyway, let's see what happens, man, because look at the receipts. You all talk like it's interesting to talk, but where's the action? When it's you in charge. You know what I mean?
They put Jonathan for hot seat, bang. And at the end of the day, all this tweet was made in 2014. Then in 2015, Jonathan was kicked out of power. Then APC came into power. So this pressure, whether they give her like her. But now let's come to Donald Trump. What is Donald Trump's interest in Nigeria? And how do you just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I care about the Christians in Nigeria, let's go and help them? There's definitely interest. But now let's quickly look at something. Have you noticed that all the travel where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu they do, they go America? For some reason, it goes to France, goes to UK, goes to this, goes to China, goes to almost everywhere, but it never goes to America. It does not like to go there. As a matter of fact, you cannot even see a picture of Donald Trump and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why? What's going on? What is the beef? What is going on with Americans, with the American government and Nigerian government? It don't seem to be... Do you understand? Now, but if you go back, you see that Buhari and Donald Trump get something. But before Buhari and Donald Trump start to get something happened. Now, the first visit Buhari made to Donald Trump was on the 30th of April 2018. Meanwhile, Donald Trump became the president in 2017. Now, in that 2017, after he became the president, he made some statements. Now, as you can see, let's start with the visit. On the 30th of April 2018, former President Muhammadu Buhari visited the White House. At the time, Buhari was the first sub-Saharan head of state to visit American President Donald Trump at the White House since he took office in 2017. So he took office in 2017. In 2018, Buhari went to go and see him. But before Buhari went to go and see him, the meeting happened a few months after Trump allegedly made derogatory remarks about African countries.
That alone, if I'm president of any country, any African country, you think I'm stepping foot in that country? But while that person is president, you can forget it. You think they can step foot in our country? You can forget it. Maybe I'm just too petty.
The press conference, Buhari at the press conference.
No, leave it answer the section below. If that was you, what would you do?
Buhari responded cautiously to the question about Trump's remark. So Donald Trump said some things. Then they were not asking Buhari that, but Donald Trump said these things. Do you understand? Alpha. But Buhari was very cautious and he didn't really say anything. Now, what did Donald Trump say about African countries? He referred to Haiti, an African nation, a shithole country.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Around January 2018, he referred to African countries as shithole countries, right? Then the African Union, as you can see on BBC, Donald Trump must apologize for the comment, African Union. So they asked him,
oh, so the African Union can speak. They can speak and say something. Where are they now, though? I want to see what they're
to apologize. Then after all of this, in April, this whole thing happened around December 2017 to like 2018. Then in January, he made the statement. In April, then Buhari went to the US to go and visit him. Now, this is a video of the visit, as you can see. Now, they spoke about a lot of things, right? They spoke about a lot of things. And then when Buhari left, Donald Trump now praised Buhari. This is what he said. Trump praised Buhari leadership in the fight against terrorism, highlighting Nigeria's battles against Boko Haram. He also noted that Nigeria was among the first African countries to join the coalition against ISIS and was leading regional efforts to combat ISIS in West Africa. Now, after they spoke about terrorism a little, but they now spoke about the main interesting part, about the economy. Now, you people need to understand that Nigeria is a country of interest to all the world powers.
Thank you, VDM, because that's exactly what Charmaine's post was at, or let's say Charmaine, because you know what I mean. That was exactly what she was leading on towards. That's exactly what she was basically saying. She was basically saying that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't want to say it's not rocket science, because it isn't about being rocket science or whatever the case is. Like, you see what I mean? It's about understanding. Hold on. Like, it's about understanding what is the real truth. Once you understand what the real truth is, I'm telling you, it's different.
The European country, Nigeria is a country of interest because we have a lot of natural resources with bad leaders. Understand that. And Nigeria is a country of interest, a very big interest. But this is part of the meeting.
And why do we have bad
Can
leaders?
you please just hear me out?
No, all work management platforms are the same.
Monday.com is the one you'll actually love to use.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Today, I'm honored to host President Buhari of Nigeria at the White House, right here in the beautiful Rose Garden. President Buhari, I want to thank you very much for traveling to Washington for these important discussions. It's a true pleasure to welcome you to our nation's capital. Nigeria is the largest democracy in Africa, as I can.
Straight away, don't delay. Nigeria is the largest democracy in Africa. No, hang on.
Capital. Nigeria is the largest democracy in Africa. As I conveyed to President Buhari in our discussions, the United States deeply values and appreciates Nigeria's role as a strong democratic leader in the region. The United States is currently working to expand trade and commercial ties with African nations, including Nigeria, to create jobs and wealth in all of our countries. We hope to be the economic partner of choice for nations across the continent and all around the world. And you see what's happening with respect to trade and the United States. We are being respected again. I hope all African countries.
We are being respected again. It's time to disrespect them. Disrespect them the way they disrespect us. Disrespect. No, I'm joking. You don't need to disrespect anyone, right? But ain't that interesting? So there was a point in time when America, where that country felt disrespected. I wonder why. You know, I wonder why.
And countries throughout the world that we also will be supporting you, and that they will likewise support us in our bid, along with Canada and Mexico.
After the meeting, they talk about economy and blah, blah, blah. Buhari shall go. Now, let's come to Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump became the president, the 45th president of the United States from 2017 to 2021. From 2017 to 2021, in 2018, Imam Buhari don't turn paddy, right? Imam Buhari became paddy in 2018. Now, let's look at the Boko Haram attacks from 2017 to 2021. Right? From 2017, this is the amount of people that Boko Haram buy. Over 220 in that 2017. There were 280 in that 2017 when Donald Trump became the president of America. In 2018 that he met Buhari, over 250. He didn't say anything. In 2019, over 280. He didn't say anything. He didn't say he was coming to come and save Christians. In 2020, over 280. He didn't say anything. Then in 2021, when he was leaving office, it reduced to like 70, 80 persons. Now, if you notice, again, we're talking about America now. If you notice, it was high. The attack was high in 2014 and 2015. This was when Goodluck was the president, right? That time, Obama was the president of the United States, and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was the president of Nigeria. Now, after Goodluck left power, Goodluck said this.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming.
straight up. That's like from the first few seconds. The level of interference from Obama's government was overwhelming. Listen. There was a post by, I think it was Sean T. King. I believe that's his name on Twitter. He posted a clip of, I believe it's from the Boondocks episode, and I think it was Huey Riley. Sorry, Huey Riley. That's two names. Huey Freeman. And then I believe he was sitting on the bench, and then they'll ask him, "Oh, how do you feel about?" Someone asked him, "How do you feel about your president being black?" This is in reference to Barack Obama, by the way. By the way, the bonus is a car if you didn't know. But anyway, and basically he's like, "Man," and they got upset by it. Yeah, you know what's so funny? Not funny, but what is so interesting here is the fact that I responded back with saying, and years later you can see why he felt meh. Because of his interference because of Obama's interference in Libya, you got an African president as, you know what I mean? Because he's obviously half Kenyan and half Haitian, right? No. Well, yeah, it's half Kenyan, that's for certain, that I do know. But anyway, the point is, there's a lot I want to say, but let's put it this way. There is a song by Low-Key featuring Black the Ripper. I think, who else is on there? There's someone else, but there's a remix as well. But anyway, called Abomination. If you listen to that track, that's all I'm going to say on that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to say too much. I'm just letting that track speak for itself. Yeah, you already saw what happened during that era anyway.
It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people looked at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned.
For the first time in 13 years, opening the doors to my trading legacy. Life this.
Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something.
And that shouldn't, this is what I'm trying to say. No country, let's be honest, yeah, no country or no president or no prime minister of any other country should ever tell, do you know what I mean, someone from that country, citizens of another country to vote for someone else for a next chapter. Why? What reason is there? What interest do you have? Like, it doesn't make sense. Where's the real democracy? The people are supposed to vote for whoever they feel will be best interest to them. But and this is what I tried to say earlier, the perception of that nation having a suit like they almost feel like they're bigger than they are and they're superheroes and this. That's how it's perceived. Yeah. So whenever they say something, just be like, oh, it must be true. Let's follow their lead then. That's how it's sadly perceived. If you think I'm lying, you can leave in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are. Because I'm very interested in everyone's thoughts. Get me, let's go.
We should not sweep this things under the carpet. If a foreign country, or the African country, or even America or any other country interferes with our own elections, we should mention it.
Facts. Mention it.
Immediately,
oh, yeah.
The Chibo.
Okay, you see with those schoolgirls. All right, so remember earlier we were reacting to Aisha videos, yeah. Yesufu, if I butcher the name, forgive me. But basically, she was part of the reason why, you know what I mean, bring back our girls. So we're back in.
Issue came up. We expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a...
I mean, I'll be honest, listen, that did bring more attention to it, and that did slightly help. As if you're talking about interference in political affairs, like we're just talking about with the voting, that's one thing. But if you're talking about a moment where it goes viral, for you have to the point you're having the first lady of another nation that has mainstream media on her like that, then so be it. It just brings more attention to it. But I always believe in the fact of the reality is attention is one thing, but action is a completely different thing. But let's keep
president. Of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence system were not strong enough to be able to...
Now, if you notice, from what Goodluck is trying to say, that the whole Boko Haram attack and the Chibok girls is political, and indirectly is kind of pointing hands towards the United States.
Exactly, he is. And remember what we just watched in regard to Scott Perry. Remember what he just literally said out his own mouth. His own mouth. His own mouth. Like, what are we talking about here? This is insane when you deep it. But I'm so glad. Shout out to Charmaine for her mentioning about Scott Perry, because I would have, not saying that I would have forgot, but I would have had no idea who that person was or where that came from. Because I knew I saw something in regards to that. I knew I did. I knew my mind was not playing tricks on me. I just knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't playing tricks on me. Do you know like that Barbra Streisand? No, it's not Barbra Streisand effect. It's a different effect. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I knew it. I knew it. And if that, from what Goodluck Jonathan was just saying, yeah, get me. Let me be respectful. Former President Goodluck Jonathan was saying, yeah, like he literally was alluding back to the whole Scott Perry situation. Do you not like it? You literally cannot make this up. Everything happens for a reason. And look, I'm not saying this is out of his own mouth, not my mouth. I'm just saying, like, we can all look from the outside looking in. But if someone is within and they were literally the president of the country and they're telling you this, then you have to start paying attention. If there's anyone you need to learn from, it's someone that was within the government of Nigeria that was actually at the highest point. You know what I mean? The president of Nigeria, and he's letting you know there were political interference. What else? What more do you want me to say? You understand? Like, what more can I say? What more can you say? What more can I do? What more can he do? What more can you do? It's all there. But now the question becomes, what's the solution? What's the solution right now? What's the prevention for these stuff happening in the near future for other African countries and Afro-Caribbean countries? What is the prevention and what's the solution to the problems ongoing right now? That's my main thought right now.
Now, if you look at it, it looks like Obama refused to do something. Goodluck, and they come and they make video. Goodluck refused. Okay, no problem. All right. So it looks like Goodluck refused to do something that they want. Like I said, it's always about interest. Goodluck refused to do something that they want. A day before the presidential election, this U.S. Secretary of State came to visit Buhari. Not just that, good luck had stylishly told Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, which is to vote for Buhari. Now, this is where Obama had encouraged Nigerians to vote for the next chapter. Now, this is where he said it.
I like how he's providing evidence.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20...
Tim Westwood.
Hello.
So come on, man.
Today I want to speak directly to you, the people of Nigeria. Nigeria is a great nation, and you can be proud of the progress you've made. Together you've won your independence, emerged from military rule, and strengthened democratic institutions.
Why do I remember this?
You've strived to overcome divisions and turn Nigeria's diversity into a source of strength. You've worked hard to improve the lives of your families and to build the largest economy in Africa. Now you have a historic opportunity to help write the next chapter of Nigeria's progress by voting.
And notice how he said you managed to build one of the largest economies in Africa. Why is that any of your concern? It's like you're bigging us up, but then at the same time, you're telling us. Because if anything, wouldn't it make more sense to stick with the same government where you feel like the economy is continuously growing? And I could be wrong because I never lived in Nigeria in my life at this point in my life, so I can't say what was good and what was bad. I don't know. I'm just saying based on what he's saying. Yeah, that's just my thoughts there, right? I'm not. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, this is tough, man. Let's keep moving.
As you can see, he said you have an opportunity to vote for the next chapter, right? The next chapter was obviously Buhari. Now, when did they make this post? It was 23 May 2025. When was the presidential election? When was the presidential election? The presidential election was around March 29. So he made this around March 20-something. And a day before our election, they sent a U.S. representative. Now, ask yourself a question. What is the interest of America? Where make them want to talk for our politics? There's definitely something that we don't know about. Now, Obama became the president of the United States 2009, right? From 2009 to 2017.
I mean, technically, he was elected in November 2008. If I remember correctly, I remember that. And I can't even lie, I was actually hyped at one point. Because I'm like, Rob, first black president in America. I don't know why I got hyped, but I don't even live in America. Like, you know what I mean? But hey, listen, not all skin folks are kin folks, as the saying goes. Clearly. But not that aside though, yeah, listen. I do want to ask you this question, and you can leave it in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Obama? Because this is the problem. There's this perception that because he was a cool president, that he was a good president. That's far from it. And you see with the comments that Charmaine was getting, for example, again, like I said, there's trolls that, you know what I mean? But the point is, if you think about it, I understand if you live something firsthand. That's one thing. But again, here we have very dark man explaining this situation. He's giving you this information and you can do with it at whatever will. But let's keep it moving because I'm just seeing the time. Let's
became the president. From that 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, right? In that old hit years, guess what? Obama never touched down this country. But he's talking about our politics. But he never entered Nigeria for one day. You care about the people so much, but you never visited to see how the country is doing. But you care about Nigeria to the point where you are telling them it's not time to vote for the next chapter. Do you understand? Politics, interests. Maybe Good Luck was not willing to be a boy to the West. Do you understand?
That part. Because the moment, anyway, there's a pattern. Let's put it this way. There's a pattern.
Let's move. In the history of Nigeria, how many American presidents have visited this country? And when was the last time an American president visited Nigeria? Now, let's look at it.
Good question.
The first time was March 31st and April 3rd, 1978. Jimmy Carter, right? Now, the next person was Clinton. He visited in year 2000, and George Bush visited.
No, wait. You have how many decades in between? How many decades in between? That's insane to me. That just shows you there's a level of superiority, this dysfunctional relationship, or whatever you want to call it, because I don't know what that is. And we hold this country to a higher regard. Why? For what reason? Let's go.
2003, and that time was when OBJ was the president. So the last time they visited was in 2003. 2003 to 2023 is 20 years. 2023 to 2022, that's like 22 years ago was the last time an American president visited Nigeria. But guess what? They have so much interest and so much love for Nigeria. They love us so much, but they cannot visit. Now, do you know the craziest part? Each time an American president visits Nigeria, something go down a little for their own to go up. When they visited the first time in 1978, $1 was 0.606 naira. It was not even up to $1 1 naira.
Damn.
The first time they visited, $1 was 0.606 naira. $1 no reach 1 naira. The second time they visited in year 2000, it has gone up. $1 was 85 naira. Then the third time they visited in 2003, $1 was 114 naira. For each visit, our economy crumbled. Now make it make sense. The British went carry us as boy, went colonize us. They command America from nowhere. Back body full this whole thing. Do you understand? They back body full this whole thing. You see, when they say Donald Trump, he suddenly love Christians. Americans, and I see a lot of Americans tweeting, they want to come and save Nigeria. Bro, go and Google the Marshall Island. Go and do a research of the Marshall Island, Bikini Atoll. May you see what them do those people. Americans, they want test bomb. They face one place to test bomb. They throw them for one island where people they stay. After they throw the bomb for the island, they told them to go. Then later they now said, oh, the island is okay. The people came back. The chemical from the bomb finished those people. Oh, you know what? SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob Square. That village under SpongeBob where you see like that. That sponge, the SpongeBob gone.
I remember someone was talking about this on Twitter, or was it TikTok? I can't remember who it was, and it made so much sense because this is what they do. They literally mock situation and they put it in cartoons, or they will put it in TV series, or let's just say in cartoons. But it depends on certain situations there, because obviously one creator can see something and whatever the case may be. But sometimes, hey, listen, I don't even know because I'm not in Hollywood like that, so it is what it is. But I do remember someone talking about that. If I can find that and react to it, I will. If I can.
Now the sponge of those bikini people, those people where they from Marshall Island, all those things where they see under that place. A real life story that they do cartoon for under those life under. They care so much. How? It is politics. There's nothing like he wants to come and save Nigeria. Save Nigeria from what? From who? We have insecurity problem, yes.
True.
If they want to do it, they should go and do it. But this whole thing that you people think Donald Trump is a messiah or the Americans are messiah now, they won't come help you now. Bro, I may not like Tinubu, but bro, it goes beyond what you see. You people should be careful what you wish for. Let's look at Libya today. Although Tinubu is not doing as much as Gaddafi, you understand, Gaddafi is 10 times, 15, 100 times better than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Right. Gaddafi was doing well for his people. Then these people came up one day and said, oh, why is he taking so much time on the throne? Why is he this? Why is he that? And at the end of the day, they buy Gaddafi. Now Libya does not have a government. Libya does not have a government. That is suffers. Be careful what you wish for. Now they are making it look as if it's about the Christians. They are making it look as if it's about the Christians. Well, a lot of people are buying. For me, human beings are buying in Nigeria because of insecurity. For me, it's not even about tribe or religion. For me, human being, they buy. Human being, they buy. There's a need to find solution to the buying of Nigerians. That's how it is for me. Nigerians are buying, whether Christian or Muslim, everybody they buy.
Exactly what
that's for me. Say. But if they say that na Christians na in they buy, okay, and nationally welcome them. By the grace of God, all of us did together. But I want to tell you for free that this the way they see, there's more to it than meets the eyes.
Sure.
And why has Tinubu been avoiding that US? Why? You should think about all of this, you know. Those Americans want to see, so you think America want the best for you. And every day, dollar, naira, dollar they appreciate against naira, you know. They block una from coming to their country. They make visa very hard. They make visa very hard for everybody to come. You love them so much, but you can't visit the country. You love the Christians so much, but you didn't bother to visit them. Anyways, may God help all of us. And a lot is happening in that country, you know. Not be with they say coup against Tinubu. Now, Trump don't come. Anyways, 20 elections still they come again. More they watch 20 they happen. You understand? But like I said, I like the pressure. In a nutshell, I like the pressure when Trump they give President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I hope he yield a very, very good result. Maybe the Nigerian government will sit up now. Maybe they'll sit up properly to make sure that they safeguard the lives of Nigerians. But at the end of the day, this one what Trump they do. It's a game of interest, not a game of love. Peace and love, don't play. If you play, go and learn, and you will learn the hard way. Don't play.
No,
you think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Now, I'm telling you, I appreciate Very Darkman just breaking it down like this, because for him to break it down like this, now people have to genuinely pay attention and understand it's bigger than what we think. Yeah, it's deeper than what we all think. Yes, we all want a solution, but at what cost? When it comes to, you know what I mean, foreign interest, at what cost? Because we could be like, oh, well, people don't care about us, but then at what cost? Let's just focus on the solutions, and then, you know what I mean? Let me know what your solutions you have in mind, but let's quickly read some of the comments. Obama said, right in the next chapter of Nigeria's progress by voting in the upcoming elections, not vote for the next chapter, as you put it. Most of your countries are right, but do not destructively manipulate ideas to push your views. It's bad. You see, when Very Dark Man makes does something incorrect or says something incorrect, he corrects himself, like you literally saw. Yeah. But at the same time, why is Obama saying to write the next chapter or go for the next chapter? Why is he even talking about Nigerian politics in the first place? If he's never visited Nigeria, why? Like, as a sitting president of another country, and you've never visited that country, why are you mentioning that? Is that not a cause for concern? To me, that's a cause for concern. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. All right, so next one. It said that those who wanted Goodluck Jonathan out of office were the ones who went to America to solicit. Makes sense? Let's talk about the real way forward and stop blaming America for our corruption and bad leadership. How should we move forward as a country? Let's stop going around the circle. You do your proper research, read, find out things that need to be done to move us into the League of Developed Countries. Stop concentrating on content for views and survival mode. Let's be involved in fruitful talks and demands on our government to move our lives forward. I like that, but you got to bear in mind what Goodluck Jonathan literally says. Do you know what I mean? The interference. That's scary to me. That's genuinely scary. Like, it's one thing to make observations and realize this look like this is happening, but then when you have a former sitting president of a country saying it, it becomes so scary. I don't even know what's what. Even right now, I can think of, normally when I can figure solutions, I can come with some solutions on the spot, depending after reacting, I can come with some solutions. Right now, I can't think of any solutions right now. I genuinely can't. And that scares me. That genuinely scares me, because it's like, do you know how deep the rabbit hole goes? So it's like, imagine if imagine if Tinubu said, you know what? I'm gonna obviously help out the nation, help out my people, boom, boom, boom. And then he says, he says, "Ban you, Trump." Obviously not in those those words. And imagine he goes against whatever foreign interests want in Nigeria. Imagine what happens to him. Do you understand? Obviously, he's still wanted by the FBI, apparently, allegedly. But again, that doesn't mean it's mad, because then who replaces Tinubu? Even if there's another election coming up, and let's say Peter Obi goes for the election again, and let's say he wins again, and this time he actually does win, and he ends up being a sitting president. But does he win? Does he peak the inch? Does he fit the narrative and the interest for the foreign nations? Like, this is what's so scary, because even if we want certain people in position or power, how do they get there without being corrupt? Because we need to ask, why are African and Caribbean countries, in some of them, why are they corrupt? There has to be a reason why they're corrupt. Anyway, listen, I can talk about this all day long if I wanted to, but I can't do that today. You know what I mean? Anyway, very smart. But some Nigerians are happy. They think Donald is even practiced Christianity. Do you see? More grace VDM. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to put a real solution is coming. We just have to have true, pure faith in God, because we have seen what some humans, guys, as humans can sadly do. Do you know what I mean? That's as simple as I'm gonna put it. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like I said, if there's any solutions that you think could happen, should happen, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna see if any of you have left any comments, because I like to read comments. But yeah, man, it's a scary time, man. Like, it generally is a scary time when you think about it, because there you've got to look at the perspective of not who's in the right and who's in the wrong. It's the case of, we heard what Aisha said, yeah? She literally more or less said what VDM said. She didn't go into the extent of what VDM did, obviously, but from what we reacted to, but it's the same thing. We just need a solution, irrespective if they're Muslims or Christian. You know how I mean? It doesn't matter. That situation needs to end, regardless. And there's other problems within Nigeria as a whole that needs to be solved. Do you understand? Remember the whole End SARS movement? That was a problem that needs to be solved. You know, so there's other problems that need to be solved. But anyway, listen, I've done talking for now on this. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure you stay subscribed, so when I do go live or post content, you'll be able to watch there and then, like, comment, all that stuff there. Got any other suggestions, want me to react to next, go ahead in the comments below. But yeah, what's that saying?